said in his theory. So to go to just to tell about Gardner, he was born in Pennsylvania, and he was a student of Erik Erikson. But later I don't know for what reason, he understood that Erik Erikson sealed his capacity to grow as a student, or capacity to grow his knowledge, expand his knowledge. Later, in Harvard, when he joined Harvard's University, during his graduation and other things, he involved himself in Project Zero. This is a very important project that he worked for his major part of life. Then he published his first book, major book, which is called Shattered Mind. Now there are two books here. One is the Frames of Mind, which he published later, which is more relevant to intelligence and his theory. And the first one was Shattered Mind. When he was still in the learning stage and exploring stage, he published his first book, Shattered Mind. So these are two books, both have mind in it. Shattered is the first one, Frames is the second one. Frames had the framework of what he thought intelligence was.
Soundarya.
Yes.
I think your voice is not very much audible to people. So I can see some checks. They're saying that your voice is very low. Could you please?
Can you hear me now? Better?
I can hear her loud and proper. How come?
Okay.
What about you, Ritika?
I can also hear pretty loud.
Yeah, the sound volume is actually, I think.
Who are not able to hear, there is some technical problem in there. All right, let's carry on.
So
still, what is the second book's name? First one was Shattered Mind, right? Second
first,
one
yeah. Frames of Mind.
Frames Mind. Frames of Mind.
Frames of Mind. First one is the Shattered Mind. Second one is the Frames of Mind.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. So while he was working on Project Zero after he graduated, Bernard Van Leer Foundation. So they funded him for this project to assess the state of scientific knowledge concerning human potential and its realization. So just to understand how much potential a human mind can bear, or what is the extent that one can go, or where all can, scientific knowledge concerning human potential and its realization, how is one aware of his or her potential, mental potential, and how can they apply? To study this, as part of Project Zero, that foundation, Bernard Van Leer Foundation, funded Gardner. So that gave him further motivation, and because of his works, he was awarded some MacArthur Prize Fellowship. Then he went to Piaget. He was a student of Piaget. There also he disagreed with Piaget, and then he became like all on his own, full-fledged psychologist, and carried on his own for further research and whatever. So according to intelligence is a biopsychological potential to process information that can be activated in a cultural setting to solve problems and create products that are of value in a culture, on the same lines of the definition that's on the screen. So that is intelligence for him. Initially, Gardner had just given 7 types of intelligences. Then he added 2 more, which totally became 9. So initially there were only 7, and then he added 1 more, 8, then became 9. So there are 8 criteria on which it was easy to name the intelligence type, but there were underlying criteria that he took into account before giving the 8 or 9 intelligences. Those are the potential of the brain, the evolution of the brain, the operations in the brain, core operations. How do you encode a stimuli in the brain? How much unique your brain is developing? How unique is your brain developing? What is the support available in the experimental psychology at his point of time, and what are the psychometric findings till date of his research. So these are the criteria that he took into account before labeling or giving the 9 types of intelligence. These are there in the textbook, quite self-explanatory. Now, each individual has 9 intelligences in varying amounts. These intelligences are located in different...
Sorry, just can you repeat that again, the list?
Okay. The potential of brain isolation by brain damage. So how much can you isolate your brain parts of thinking? How much potential are you to, apply your different parts of brain into action? The place of evolutionary history, the place of brain in evolution, or the evolution of brain. The third one is the core operations of brain, the presence of core operations. There are already inbuilt operations in brain that we use. Yesterday I told you that cognition, memory, divergent, convergent, evaluation. I mean, that's just one of the perspectives. There are already preset operations that one uses. Then the encoding of the stimuli. How do you encode? Each person has their own way of encoding. The susceptibility of encoding. And the next is developmental progression of brain. How has brain developed from normal mammal to intelligent man? How do you consider the exceptional people? How do you take into account the intelligences of exceptional people? And of course, the experimental psychology, the contribution of experimental psychology available at the time of Gardner, and the psychometric findings. So these are the 8 criteria that he took into account before giving his version of the intelligences. Are we good to go, Seema?
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Welcome. And so each intelligence, the 9 intelligence that he gave, a person can be, as like yesterday, it can be a combination of 2 or more intelligences, or a person can excel in single intelligence alone. Here, it's not exactly yesterday what that person said. Sorry, what was that person's name?
Guilford.
Correct, Guilford. What Guilford said is that to one given task, a person uses one combination of intelligences. But here, what Gardner is saying is, in the entire life, a person is dominant in one of the intelligences. So you can actually, decide a person's profession, or decide a person's nature, or decide the person's motive, depending on one of the intelligence. So one intelligence or 1 or 2 intelligence out of the 9 take a dominant position in a person's life entirely. And it's not limited to one task. So they develop the interest for one of these intelligences at the early stage and go on nurturing, and the culture adds value to it. The person adds value to the culture. So vice versa, nature, nurture, culture. These are 3 things Gardner really stressed upon to develop one intelligence in a particular area. So this intelligence keeps on developing or progressing, or you get noted by this type of intelligence in your entire life. So that's what he said. They either work independently or together, as I read. These MI can be nurtured and strengthened, or ignored and weakened, depending on the situation, the traumas, or the episodic memory, or whatever, the ups and downs of person's life. We can improve education by addressing these multiple intelligences for students. As I said, it has major application in the teaching and learning field. So how do you develop intelligences? Nature, nurture, culture, genetics, environment, values. These are the 9 types of intelligence. We'll go through it detailedly now. Linguistic intelligence. Linguistic intelligence has more to do with language, word smart. So the one who are expert in this type of intelligence can be called word smart. So these are people who are mostly authors, speakers, lecturers, um, public speech, who give public speech, all that.
Maybe lawyers.
Yeah, you have a set of lawyers
Yes.
also to an extent.
Soundarya, before you
Yeah.
start this, I would like to say something which would
Mhm.
make everyone feel, it would be easy for everyone to understand it. So when we are talking about this 9 different intelligence, so as per the Gardner, he said that the first two intelligence, which is linguistic and logical, is majorly used in school. So that was meant for the students.
Yeah, I'm
And the
coming to this point at by the end. I wanted to say this for the end.
And the other three, musical, kinesthetic, and spatial, that was for art related profession. And interpersonal and intrapersonal was more about the personal intelligence. And then he gave the eighth one, which was naturalistic, and ninth one is existential. So this was more related with nature and understanding our own psychology. So for counselors and psychologists, it's very important to understand the first two, first, fifth. No, actually, all of them are important. So all over whoever the counselors here, for them, this is gonna be a very mind blowing session.
Theory, yeah.
All right.
So as she rightly said, the first two are used mostly in schools. The next three are used by artists, more artistical. Then you have the next
art related stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, musical and body is more of artistic, bound to artistic people like me. Interpersonal, intrapersonal relate for personal intelligence types, and also it could be related to social intelligence also. So these are mostly public figures. Naturalistic are the ones close to nature. Existential is more philosophical and aesthetic. So it leads you to spiritual and philosophical world. So these are quite self-explanatory and damn easy. So I'm sure if this question comes, everyone will ace it. So it's that easy. You just need to remember some keywords in each and relate and give proper examples. The examples are huge. So if you want in particular professions, so there are lawyers, as one of you said, politicians, poets, teachers, journalists, important, and philosophers. I don't know why they are here, writers. So these are some of the careers that one can choose if they are linguistically intelligent.
Yeah, why they are saying philosophers? Because here we are talking about a person who can express a language very nicely. So even philosophers have their own.
Ask Praveen.
Oh my God, I think I need to develop how to express. That's something which I didn't learn after philosophy course.
Listen, you've done from IGNOU, okay? You better have learned it properly.
Yeah.
Even people with good linguistic intelligence, they are good in learning foreign languages as well. They're good in reading, writing, telling stories, like she said, also memorizing words with the dates. So that is amazing.
Yeah, and interesting thing is persuading also.
One thing for sure is there is a lot of jargon in philosophy which actually stumps. So I think that philosophy.
True. I agree, totally agree.
Right. And I think the philosophers, especially the Urdu ones, they use really, amazing words, and they are so, lovely to hear. I think that's why
strong words.
Yeah.
Only
get all this.
They use, but the way they express, even the expression expressing a moon.
Yeah.
Way that
all the Hindi songs, ghazals, all these Javed Akhtar and all, look at the way they use their choice of words. It's really amazing.
So again, this is one of the intelligence which is especially important for students, because that's the time when they are developing the skills of reading, writing, storytelling. We are even give them to remember words, and with the help of this, the way they develop this intelligence. And then if they are really good with words and reading, writing, then they have these many professions. So again, a good career counselor, if she or he asks him what are the things you like, and then accordingly they can tell them that these are the good profession for you than going for IIT and AIPMT.
But according to me, I feel this intelligence, linguistic intelligence, is a must for being intelligent in any other field. So only if you can understand and communicate, excel in any other intelligence. But of course, the degree of intelligence varies, but definitely one is linguistically intelligent, according to me. I think that's my opinion for it.
How about people who cannot speak?
Sorry?
People who cannot speak, they can't be intelligent in anything else?
Yeah, she will talk about it also. Don't worry, your number will come.
They can still express, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It is mentioned letter writing, no? So they can express through that.
Was there an impact if somebody cannot speak, deaf or dumb? Will they have a lesser intelligence?
Yeah, she will talk about it. They are also intelligent, but in a different way. That's what this multiple intelligence theory talks about. That a person can have multiple intelligence, could be 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
But so if a person who doesn't do this reading, writing, and he's more of introvert, what are the career options for them? What kind of intelligence they have? So she will talk in the last.
Yeah, I keep your question in the parking lot. I'll come back. These are the careers. Moving on, visual spatial intelligence. What is spatial intelligence? It's picture smart. Here you can actually get your, you can actually get the physically challenged people or specially abled people here. So here you can actually get symbols also. But I don't know, in these 9 intelligences, where exactly do you put symbols? Either you put it here or you include them as part of linguistic intelligence. Totally depends on your perspective. So I would put the symbols here because visual spatial, it says. So it's more to visualize spatial. So like that.
Can I suggest something? Because you have come to art. This is an art one. If we go through the book, you have the book with you, right? If you go with sequence, it would be easier for everyone to understand. So after linguistic, we should talk about logical, mathematical intelligence, because these two are related with school. Then before spatial, we should talk about musical intelligence.
Okay, I'll go by the book.
Understand? Yeah, let's go with the book. It's easier to understand that way.
Sorry for this inconvenience. I couldn't prepare my own slide.
No, it's absolutely fine. I'm there. I have studied a little. Yeah, you have a good study. There's nothing.
Class teacher is there always for rescue, so I think you can go with full confidence.
Yeah. So next is logical mathematical intelligence, more to do with numbers and the logical reasoning behind it. These people are very good at solving puzzles, calculating, figuring out, questioning, experimenting, all that. They are definitely very good at problem solving and analyzing a particular problem. So logical smart. Logical mathematical intelligence, as the name suggests, is logically smart. Their IQ, these people actually score a good IQ score, good number in IQ tests, because the earlier IQ tests actually they aim to test this intelligence. For them, this logical mathematical intelligence was a major part of intelligence, and others were merely taken into account. For example, musical intelligence, linguistic intelligence were taken into account. So the earlier IQ tests aimed to measure this logical intelligence. So in those traditional tests, these people score more. These are some of the roles that they perform as being logically intelligent. They analyze, categorize, they create, come up with formulas, logical means. They create patterns, sequencing, rational thinking, scientific thinking. So they give a scientific explanation which can be relied upon or accepted by major of the people. They have timelines, synthesis, they are good in mapping, drawing that hierarchy tables, etc., etc. So they are logically very strong. These are the carriers. Okay. These are the carriers who are logical, who have logical mathematical intelligence.
Yeah, the Praveens and the Praharshas of the world.
Yeah, actually, there's a research, I think most of you know, men are logically more good, whereas women are more artistically
We are illogical, huh?
Not illogical, but the ratio is more.
No, I agree.
Yeah, I have similar theory.
Stereotyping, nothing else. If you tell a girl, there's another research which has been done on mathematics. There was a set of girls and boys. They all were amazing in mathematics. But what the researchers has done, they told one group of students that you are really good in math, and they told, like, the boys, they said you're good in math, and girls, they said you're not good in math. So they have realized that the girls who were good in math, they started declining their interest in math. And there was a time that they were actually not good at math because of the stereotyping and negative thinking which has been imposed on it. So then the mindset plays a very important role when it comes to, I think we studied in personality or motivation theory somewhere about this example, that it really doesn't matter about the intelligence, whether it's a boy or a girl. It's about what mindset we're working on. Like what mindset the school has, what mindset the teachers have, what mindset the parents have, and the kind of environment girls and boys have. Even the same is with boys also. There's something like if they are interested in art, so they are always, people have negative thinking. They say, oh, this is only for girls, you can't do it. So that's another reason why they can't take up art, and they have to stuck with those intelligence which they are not meant for. This is a research.
I have another maybe a research which supports this. Like both male and female have female and male hormones. So both the genders have both hormones of both genders. So what dominance decides your sexual orientation. Also, what dominates depends on which intelligence you fall strongly into. So women can have more male hormones, logical male hormones, which makes her logically strong. So that's it. Totally depends on your perception and how you nurture it also, but it also depends on the ratio of what gender hormones you carry. If I'm not wrong.
Is it written in the book like this?
No. It's I'm just trying to recall the few researches that I came across to study sometime.
We discussed the actual theory in the book for a while. Now we are going by our grandmas and our partners and all that.
Okay, moving on.
Dr. Anju also came, immediately the moment you said that.
Hormone, I came jumping.
The moment you talked about genes and all that. Okay, great.
Yeah, she's the one who she only taught everything. You missed her lecture.
Yeah, you missed all her prenatal psychology, Saundarya. But anyway.
I wish at least the recording.
No, we'll do round two, don't worry. Chalo, moving on.
Musical intelligence, they are good with rhythms, tones, and music, pitch, recognizing. They are very good at grasping and recalling the stimulus of sound. Very good, very sensitive to the sounds of self and surrounding. So you all name any musician, they are very good with melodies, music. There are different types of sound, different types of instruments. They are very good at recognizing, and they feel connected through sounds. So all musicians, these are whatever, mood, singing, humming, rhythms, This is also, I think, you definitely need musical intelligence in your life, either to excite you or to calm you. So I don't know. For me, this and body kinesthetic is like, without that, I cannot live. Those are the two main intelligences for me, at least. So you must tell me what intelligences you fall into, or at least, I'm sure you would have analyzed by now. So these are the careers. Songwriting also involves linguistic intelligence because it has to do with more words. You have to have those similes, etc., etc. Performers, especially singing performers. Studio engineer. Studio engineer can also be logical because it has to do a lot of technicality involved in that. So advertising agent. I'll come to that later. Some of these careers have 2 or 3 intelligences already involved. So definitely it's multitasking or multiple intelligences. I don't know what is that. That looks funny, that man there. Oh my God. Okay, bodily kinesthetic intelligence, here where you have most of the dancers, actors, and sportswomen, athletes, bodybuilders, gymnasts, any person you name who are actively moving or who use their body more are good at these. So they are body smart. So if you have noticed, for every intelligence that's there in the slide, this person who has made this PPT has given keywords: body smart, word smart, logic smart, tune smart, something like that. Okay, so using one's whole body to express ideas and feelings. This also involves, non-verbal cues also. The facial expression also is part of bodily kinesthetics. So, you control your facial expressions. You choose what expression you want to express. So that has something to do with your facial muscles. You control your eyeball movements, eye movements, blinking, etc. So that is a part of your, even the reflexes. Sometimes you can control your reflexes. Sometimes. So yeah, you choose how, where, when, for how much time you want to move your body. So these are the roles: role play, imitating and observing. That observational and social learning by Skinner, if I'm not wrong. So that includes a lot of bodily kinesthetic intelligence. Usually, if we put children into this intelligence, at least they know their physical limit. So to make them aware of their physical limit, parents are nowadays trying to put them into one or the other, body movement or classes or activities, so that they can know. Parents nowadays, they are really, coming up to explore and find out what their children are intelligent at. So, which is a very good thing. Yeah. All thanks to these. So yes, field trips, experiments, demonstrations, martial arts, puppetry, visiting exercise, impersonations, inventing, all these. Yes, I definitely, some of these careers are quite, they put us in dilemma because they involve more than one intelligence. Is going back, visual, spatial.
Also, in this, there are few careers which are very important to understand. The one is the career of a surgeon, doctors, builders, police officers, and soldiers. Because even to do a surgery, you need to have a, what do you call, controlled bodily movement, right? If you're doing the surgery and if you shake your hands or something happen, something goes wrong. So it's very important that even in those very sensitive areas, we need to have this bodily kinesthetic intelligence.
Kinesthetic, yeah, including dentists. I think that is also one more.
Dentists, even
all surgeons.
Yeah, all surgeons. They need to be really, it has to be very accurate.
Even if you see in normal term, when we cook, we have to hold things in a right way. Otherwise, anything can happen. So we use it in daily life a lot. But for these sensitive things, it's important that these people learn or they practice it already when they have to perform a surgery, or a police guy is, chasing a thief, or a soldier at the field. So they have to be very bodily coordinated. Otherwise, one bullet can go to someone else, or it could be a waste. That training will go waste.
So,
or a painter. Painter also, they have to be like very specific and minutely work the work to do. Painter.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I think painters come more in spatial intelligence, if I'm not wrong.
That is also an art. That is also an art. So like you said, multiple intelligence in one thing. So, these are artistic intelligence. So it could be in artists. So painters, yes, they could have spatial and.
I think this is more, being agile, bodily agile. It's like that quickness of body reaction. So
it depends on what kind of painting, I guess. Let's say if somebody is replicating the scene which they have seen, then they require spatial intelligence as well, along with artistic intelligence, because they are replicating what they have seen. It is not easy to remember every detail.
Actually, if you think, every painting is actually a replication. They cannot, except for abstract painting, every other painting that you see is actually the replication of what you have recorded in your mind. So it, by default, according to me at least, it falls under visual spatial intelligence only. Right?
Yeah, rightly said. Even I feel so.
Intelligence is more about how you use spaces. So here, not only about artists, even they talked about the pilots when they, what they do.
Architects, you mean?
No. Even pilots when they navigate.
Pilots, okay, yeah.
When they navigate in the whole sky, so they should have that intelligence. What should they do? Or how far they are. So it's all about understanding the spaces. So artists, why they are talking about artists? Because artists always look for spaces, even if it's just a canvas, but they look for spaces. Designer look for space. If you talk to a designer, he won't talk, or an artist, they will talk only about space. Architect will only talk about space. That is something a very important element of an artist, whatever we do. So
but Gardner in particular, he did not talk about the physical utilization of space. He talked about the mental, how do you utilize and mental space.
Yeah, cognitive.
So, visualization.
Sounds more like an architect, imagining how the building would be built, something like that.
Correct.
Yeah. So remember this word was used. Cognitive mapping is something. This is again how we map. You remember we studied it in this unit only, cognitive mapping, imaging.
Visual mapping.
Yeah, the first unit, I think, first chapter or something.
Yes.
We're talking about the same thing now.
Best example to define all these intelligences is Sherlock Holmes. You know how he gets into his mind palace and try to get answers from his mind palace. That's my best way to define intelligence in whichever theorist or psychologist you take. Sherlock Holmes is the one common person. He's like the G factor, fits into everyone.
That's a good one. Even, Seema or Sunita, someone gave the example of mouse, that even mouse has this special intelligence that they can create map in their head, and they can even move out. If you leave them at one place, they can come out from the other place.
Yeah, Sunita had spoken about that experiment long back.
So that is something that mouse has used, this spatial intelligence. See how we started connecting. That's so cool.
Nice. Yeah, even actually, everyone
might require some spatial intelligence.
Huh?
Yeah.
Even driving in Bangalore requires some spatial intelligence.
Yeah. I agree.
Not just in Bangalore. In Bangalore, you require a little more. Of course, but one is true. I don't know if Gardner has spoken about this. Everyone is born with all the 9 types of intelligence. It totally depends which intelligence you opt to nurture more and build upon. So you definitely need all type of intelligence to survive in today's world. So yes, special intelligence.
I have one question. If anyone, Uma Shankar here, if anyone could clarify me, there's when we start up something new, like assume we started to paint the wall, okay, that comes as a part of a learning mechanism, correct? Now, over a point of time, if that painting the wall as a painter, if that becomes as a mundane activity and occupying that spatial part of it, yeah, can be part of the spatial intelligence. But it's the same scenario, but this guy is giving a design in the wall and creating an artwork based on the background of it, not only the size of it. So that means if he is trying to utilize his creative power, then the spatial intelligence will have a shift towards the creative part, isn't it?
Yeah, creativity can be, it's like creativity is inbuilt pre-task, which is a part of every other intelligence that we are speaking now. So you can be creative in logical intelligence also. You can be creative in spatial intelligence also. So creativity is something you develop in every other intelligence. What makes you good is your creativity in that intelligence. So
got it, Sundari. Got it.
Did I answer the question?
Absolutely fine. I thought like creativity falling under a different vertical. That's how I thought.
No. That is what makes you excel in each intelligence. It is required for you to go on.
Fair enough. Thank you. Right.
Even in this, the first line, it says that is a picture perfect, and the visual, we are trying to visualize it. Visualizing accurately and abstractly. So accurately could be an image which the person already know, or the painter already know, and abstract could be something which is just doing abstractive, like whatever he feels like. What you said.
So. Yeah. So yeah,
got it.
We've actually quite discussed these, all these designers. I mean, the digital designers, digital marketing, etc. All these socially active people, I mean, the social media active people should be quite good at this. I mean, it requires them to be good at this to an extent. Sculptors also, the careers. Advertising, I said I'll come back later. Advertising also requires you to actually, use physical space.
I would like to add about the spaces they're talking about, as we just spoke about sculptor. Imagine a sculptor is sculpting Saundarya, okay? So he need to see how much space he has to keep between two eyes, from eyes to nose, nose to lips, lips to chin, chin to neck, like that. So again, if you want visualize, then it won't be easy for him to create a sculpture of her. He'll do all khichdi. So again, spaces is something which allows us to see what we actually want to see.
True. And observation and creativity. Observation you need in the initial days of learning this intelligence. Creativity, you need to nurture this intelligence to excel it. Adding to Uma Shankar's question. Yes.
Art is
interpersonal intelligence. Interpersonal are the ones who are socially active. Public speakers, politicians, all these gurujis, to an extent teachers, all these people who they have to be by nature extroverts. They have to mingle with others. They have to understand the verbal and non-verbal cues of other human beings. They have to understand the feelings. They have to, I don't know if this involves exactly persuading, but if you reach, for example, politicians level or teachers level, to an extent, you definitely have to persuade your followers. And interpersonal intelligence might also indicate that you have certain number of people who's following you, or you're liked by majority of the people in your culture. So as it says, interpersonal, between two or more people.
Yeah, so here what it's saying, it talks about that as a person, like if I am a person, I have an interpersonal intelligence when I'm able to understand Saundarya and everyone else. So when we are understanding others, we are putting ourselves into others' shoes. So here we are talking about empathy. When we are more empathetic towards others, we have interpersonal skills. So why they are talking about politicians or salespeople or managers or teachers? Because they are empathetic. So politicians have empathy towards their janta, the people. That's a different story. What they do at the once they become politicians. But teachers also put their shoes. So if a student is only 4 years old or 5 years old, so she will try to make the student understand to that level. So here we are trying to understand other people from us to others.
Yeah, as well as others to us, both ways.
Yeah.
And these customer support representatives who answer your queries, give you troubleshooting steps, or give you ideas on how to go about in your telecom plans or etc. When they fall into this category, at least by their job.
Counselors definitely need this.
Yeah. Anything which has something to do with others, and even these people, they even talk depending on the moods and temperament of the people.
Correct. See, so the whole idea is to be able to understand the other person. Now people can use it in a positive way, like let's say psychologists or counselors or whatever, therapists, but you can also manipulate it like politicians, in most cases. Or so once you start understanding the other person, you can use it to your advantage or your this thing. That's the whole idea. In fact, all of us are preparing to be this. This is very important, I think, for all the psychologists, because ultimately it's about understanding the person who's sitting in front of you.
Also, it could be leaders or could be followers. So even I could be, if you are a leader, so Seema is a leader, so I could be empathetic towards you, saying, oh no, Seema will get things done because she is our leader. And then you also tell me, ki, Ritika, I will get things done. So we have both categories.
They make amazing managers because they understand every person's potential and then give the work according to that. So that is why all these areas, interpersonal skills are very important.
Yeah.
And even these guides, is that the sound from the, yeah, it is the sound from the slide. I didn't notice that. So intrapersonal intelligence is self-smart. All you need to understand about yourself, being self-aware, understanding yourself, understanding your emotions, understanding what to express, what you choose to be, everything, the values that you opt for your life, the discipline or the timings that you set for your routine. Even if you want to be, if you want to opt to be musically intelligent, you need to be aware of your strengths and weaknesses. So analyzing yourself, understanding yourself, knowing your social limit, knowing your mental limit, or knowing how far you can reach, what is your potential, your thinking process, or your broadness to explore new things. Everything about strength, weakness, plus minus, anything about your moods, motivations, intentions, self-discipline, self-esteem, essentially everything about yourself is intrapersonal intelligence. These are the ones who mostly, these can also be philosophers and psychologists. So autobiography, I don't know, I only remember Gandhi. I think that's the most deep gone autobiography that from school time. I don't know. I don't remember any others. Of course, there are. But yes, concentration, focusing, who tend to internalize, who love to spend time with yourself. Free choice of time, high order thinking, mood awareness and shifting, personal priorities. For them, their routine is important, and sensing the emotions of the moment, thinking strategies, self-identification, personal projection, all these goal setting. Goal setting is one very big important thing. Of course, it requires everything is inbuilt. So you have to be intrapersonally intelligent to excel in any other field.
Correct. This is also one of the basic intelligences which if all of us have, then I think we can take care of ourselves very well and do other things as well.
Yeah, true. So the careers. I mean, each of these has another profession, another intelligent involved in this. But yes, for me at least, researcher, entrepreneur, and psychologist. Theologian, it's one spiritual counselor. These four things: theologian, spiritual counselor, philosopher, research. I think these four careers suit more aptly for intrapersonal intelligence, according to me. Naturalistic intelligence who fall.
And why it has a spiritual thing here, Soundarya?
Huh?
Spiritual counselor.
Yeah. I think they're trying to tell, here, intrapersonal and the last one, existential, both overlap. Someone who want to, live within themselves, it could be introverts, not necessarily I'm labeling them as introverts, but if you realize that your life path is to help others, or if you realize that you have been born to fulfill the cycle of birth and death, or you have been born to be killed by others, or you have been born, if you realize that in early stage, or at least in India, we believe in the life-death cycle, birth-death cycle. So if you believe that dust to dust, something, if you realize that in an early stage, you are bound to be one of those spiritual things. Or if you believe those 7 chakras and energy, the vibrations, the nature energy influences you or something. So I think in that way, only if you can analyze yourself, can you become one of those. I think that way.
Yeah. All the gurus, Sri Ravi Shankar and Sadhguru, and all that is an example of intrapersonal, because first they understand themselves and then they start, counseling others also in that. I mean, not to get religious, but that's how it happens. Yeah.
So intrapersonal and the last one, existential, kind of overlap because those have many, factors in common: enlightenment, insights, self-awareness. All these are common factors for existential intelligence and intrapersonal intelligence. You will get a better clarity when we go for existential, the last one. The next one is naturalistic, one who is very connected to the nature, the natural nature, not the man-made nature, but the existing natural nature. Plants, trees, animals, birds, water, 5 elements of nature, like these, which is already existing, natural, not man-made. So nature smart. I think these words are very important: nature smart, self smart, logic smart, music, tune smart. Very, that is self-explanatory. That gives you the whole idea of what that intelligence is.
Soundarya, what is the word for interpersonal?
I think it is social smart.
Social smart. I missed to recognize. So
people smart.
Oh, people smart. Okay. Thank you.
I'll type and send you later for the thing.
Self smart for intra.
Self smart. Correct.
Yeah, intra is self.
So naturally intelligence to categorize plants, animals, other objects in nature. Nature smart, extremely sensitive to nature, nurturing and relating information to one's natural surrounding. So relating to environment, day-to-day experiences. We choose to be a morning person or we choose to be a night person, depending on our connection and our feeling towards night or moon or sun. So something like that. So field trips, one who actually work in fields. Fields, I mean, both the, technical fields of like you work as a what is it, carpenter or that constructor in a building. That field also, because you're using the nature elements to create something.
Zoologist.
Yeah. Yes. Zoologists, geologists, all these people, even the wildlife photographers. Actually, photographers depends on which genre of photography you choose as your career. Wildlife photography, insect photography, I don't know what else photography falls into it. That can also be a part of naturalistic intelligence. Zoologists, as you said. So yes, the one who go for a lot of hiking, trekking, fishing, camping, hunting. Even these are naturalistically intelligent people, because they know the skill of using the nature elements for their recreation. For that, they have to be by default connected to nature.
Correct.
That is, those are one of few other examples. Existential intelligence is more of questioning your existence. How did Earth come? How did, for example, Big Bang Theory, how did it exactly happen? If you go spiritually, mythologies come into picture. Who created Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, or who created Allah? Who created the Prophet? Like one of those first Adam, Eve, whatever you want to take, who created them? Why did they create them? What is the purpose of their existence? What is my purpose of existence? Why is that I was born to this set of parents only? Why wasn't I born to other set of people? Sometimes these questions sound stupid because some of us are not spiritually connected to our existence or something, but to some other, they actually mean, they find the purpose of their life, to find the purpose of your existence. That is what existential intelligence means.
Then it looks like not a deep question smart, looks like not normal question smart.
I agree. Yeah, because sometimes, at least to present trending word, it doesn't sound apt for us. For them,
so Soundarya, for whatever the questions where we don't have an answers, basically they fall under existential intelligence.
Exactly.
I think like right answer when it comes to existential intelligence, because you can write anything. It's not how you think is why it exists, not how Sandhya think why it exists. So you can write life psychology in personality.
See, current generation, many of the kids are like this only. We are not able to answer to the questions.
But they are, over smart and silly regarding this. They already know that there's no answer for that. Still, they want to pass time. That is another extreme of how they think. So let's not get into that. So yeah, there's this little caution for educators. So no intelligence is better than the other. You have to treat all intelligence as equally important and nurture them wherever they are intelligent. So these are some of the things that not much emphasis. This is important. Evaluation. So evaluation is a part of every theory that we study, at least according to IGNOU. You have to evaluate every theory that you mention. Otherwise of which your marks is incomplete. So how the IGNOU has evaluated the Gardner series, several of intelligence are not specifically cognitive in nature. It does not involve your mental, of course you need some amount of mental ability, but not specifically involve your cognitive nature. Then useful in investigating specialized functions or clinical cases of mental dysfunctions. Here, Praharsh, your topic comes here. So where do you exactly put the specially abled people? Gardner gave one name, attention deficit disorder, before they called those people as specially abled or physically challenged, or however you want to.
ADHD and all that, no?
Yeah, so he named it ADD. Remember this. attention deficit disorder. So how do you actually recognize them? You recognize them, you try different tasks of intelligence, try different tasks that explores different intelligence, different nine of these intelligence, and then find out in which they are actually good. So you can actually investigate, and his theory is used to recognize how are those, in which area of intelligence are they good at, especially those people. So you can, if you apply his theory at an early stage for children, very good. I am, if there are any, I mean, of course there are parents here. So I am sure you have broadened your thinking of how to bring up your child, but using this more consciously would help to, see your child better, have a better future for your child. Just a small suggestion, sorry. Broadens the construct of intelligence. Yes, as I said, explain intelligence to be influenced by nurture, nature, and culture. That was already discussed. This Das, who gave past theory, he agreed, he was the only one who agreed on the grounds of this multiple intelligence theory. I mean, among his contemporaries. Then Eysenck and Morgan, of course, they are followers of Spearman. They disagreed, and they said it did not give proper grounds to identify the different abilities. So they were still thinking these are different special abilities of one general intelligence, and these are not different intelligences. So he said, Gardner identified different intelligences. That's not required. There's no proper grounds for classifying these intelligences as different intelligences. Rather, they are different abilities of one intelligence. I don't know. I still disagree with Eysenck and Morgan. So yes, this thing done with the session. I've covered most. Let's play Kahoot and finish fast.
Yeah, one quick question. This last one, no, existential intelligence. Why and how and purpose. So is that more of a philosophy, a philosophical yes. kind of a thing, or is it more a scientific inquiry? Why did this happen? Why did the apple fall down? And those kind of things. So,
no,
would scientists, yeah.
If it is scientific, then it goes to logical and mathematical.
It is spiritual.
Yeah, it is more to do with unscientific explanations. I mean, of course, we know Earth, the planets came from Big Bang Theory. They were one big, small ball of, all these particles which moved slowly, expanded. The sun, our galaxy still
it's a kind of a metaphysical kind of a thing. So it's not spiritual, yes. It is metaphysical rather.
Even something about subconscious mind. We don't know how, what. So anything which is like more talking than doing.
I completely missed the part where you said something in. So it is not. That is not scientific inquiry. Is not part of this, right?
No, yeah, it falls under logical.
Logical, mathological. Yeah. Okay. Yes. All right. Okay. Thank you.
Kahoot. Open Kahoot.it. Let's play that.
Teacher won't leave us, huh? Okay.
Period
is over. Ma'am, period is over, ma'am. Next sleep period has started.
What is the pin? Yeah? I already opened. What is the pin?
Just a moment.
What is the ID?
Game pin. I am about to share.
Hey, what was that? ID? What was the
game site? Pin. Kahoot.it.
.it.
Kahoot.it.
Sandhya, you are sharing your pin.
So having, okay, it's loading the pin.
8763171.
P1?
876-3171. It's on the screen. 876-3171.
Yeah, I have to keep swapping between the screens.
Yes, Ritika, Shilpa, how many are there today?
Very few, yeah. What happened to everybody today? Today was one of the most relevant topics.
Yeah, I expected more.
After I started these questions, the people are not joining.
This is really very, very relevant. This is, I think, the most relevant class we've ever had till date. I mean, other than
most interactive class, I can say.
Yeah, most interactive, and this is what is
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's it. How many participants are there today in Zoom?
This stupid platform is shadowing two names. I ended Ritika's name for myself.
I
what
mean,
kind of intelligence? What kind of intelligence is this? Fooling people?
No, I didn't. I think
only Prahesh can think like this.
Yeah.
PK, RK.
You know, this is at least better. When we were playing for some in some training thing, people used to enter Elon Musk. What is that? Abdul Kalam. All these famous names. Ben 10.
Soundarya, see, in Kahoot, when we used to play, the first few minutes were spent to identify who is who. So yesterday I was James Bond.
Yeah, I actually noticed that, but I didn't know it was you though.
You know, I was wondering how come I see capital H in my name. I didn't see that. I use all my small letters.
This is still fine. It reminds me of my college days where the people who enter late, they used to actually sign there. So we used to sign in the name of our warden.
Oh.
Nice.
Is that all? Do you have more people? Shall I start?
Yeah, start. Yeah.
Okay. Attentive people. Gardner's first major book was?
Oh, it was wrong. No.
First major book. Remember, not he had two major books. First one is Shattered Mind. Second one was more relevant. It had framework. He had already done a framework for his theory. Second one is Frames of Mind. First one is more common. Second one had more structure. Remember like that. Shattered, then was Frames of Mind. Ritika, you have a book in front of you. I know that. Gardner was
occupied by... It's taking me 5 minutes to switch between the two screens here.
Gardner was occupied which of these following project majorly?
Network is also slow. Yo.
Who is that? Who is that project multiple intelligence? Come on. I said project.
Oh God, project 0 it was, right? Oh.
Yeah, not the theory.
Oh, shit, and I did the wrong answer. Yeah.
See? I'm glad no one marked Project Hero. See, this is how you get tricked.
I was about to choose Project 0 and the time got lapsed.
Yeah.
I did the wrong one. In a hurry, I did the wrong one. Okay.
Okay, next one. True or false? Gardner's theory of MI has its application in school setting only. Who is that one person who told true?
If the system was
not
only, see, it is school setting only. Only is not right.
Yeah.
If it is, if at all the only word was not there, then it could be true. But the word only, for that you have to mark false. Ritika, highest take of 3. Ritika is on 5. But still, PK is on top. Who is PK? Praveen Kumar. Praveen.
Yeah, yeah.
Politicians have more dash intelligence. We discussed this.
We discussed this. Yeah, my thing is not moving only, yaar. It's taking ages.
I know how to change the answer. By default, I click
You
wrong.
cannot change the answer. You
Oh,
cannot
man.
change the
I
answer.
know I clicked wrong, but
In my circle, it's just going round and round. Is it a network problem or what's the issue?
If it is a color circle, then it is from Kahoot. If it is that white circle, then it is a buffering issue.
oh man.
Who is this intrapersonal? Read the word properly. Interpersonal and intrapersonal. Intrapersonal is yourself. I know politicians are selfish. True. I know politicians are selfish. That doesn't make you to answer intrapersonal. Please.
I just got
Interpersonal.
Gandhi was a politician.
He also fall into this existential one.
I'm still on the top.
Yeah, but you have a book in front of you to facilitate you.
No, I'm not looking at a book. Come on. I know.
I mean, these are quite self-limbs. According to Gardner, the full form of ADD is
Gosh, why taking ages to give me an answer, yeah?
good. Who is administration and developmental disabilities? Who is that? And accelerated development and deployment. People, at least I thought you will choose between aging and disability disease and this. But these two are totally irrelevant to the topic of study.
I just tried Hinky Pinky Ponky as I was not aware.
Hey, why, Ray? She just told, no? And we said
Attention.
ADHD and all that.
No,
Yes.
I joined the class bit late.
Yeah.
Who is this guy?
It's the same.
Praharsh.
Yeah, that's nonsense. Uma Shankar only.
Uma Shankara. Hey,
Hey, this guy is tricking us, okay.
The later added intelligence types by Gardner are related to personal intelligence. True or false? Tricky people.
It's tricky, yeah?
Yeah. Do you think I'll give you easy answers? I mean, easy questions.
Yay, I got it.
It is not personal intelligences. It is more to do with philosophical and aesthetic intelligence. Philosophy, the naturalistic and existential were more related to philosophy. What was personal is interpersonal, intrapersonal, those were personal intelligences. So the last two that he added was more
Only those two were personal, right? Inter
Yes.
and intrapersonal.
Yes.
Correct.
The next two were philosophical. Hi, Praharsh, bye-bye.
Prahash is still on the top. It's me who's gone.
Okay, this is orators is, people think orators is to dash versus dash is to theologians. I mean, you have to
Nice
get
point.
the
Orators.
intelligence type rightly.
Okay, I got it. I got it wrong. How? What the hell? 1 second. I too got it wrong. Yeah, I thought it's like linguists and this. Yeah, 1 second.
Orators are those.
Oh my God. Oh shit. It was this
Those are-
musical, right? Musical
Yes.
interpersonal. Oh gosh. Yes. Correct.
I knew some of you would get into the mistake. But if you actually go by the meaning of the word orator, that person is the orator who conducts the orchestra. There is some other name for that person also, or
No, what is-
teaches the orchestra people.
What is theology to do with interpersonal?
Interpersonal,
Okay, got it.
yeah, they analyze more, self-analyze.
Yeah.
Shrutika on top, still good one. No change in the podium. Here's one. Who among these agreed to Gardner's theory of the mind? I told this, so this.
Don't remember the name.
Nice one. Piaget was one of the later teachers. He disagreed with them. Edward Eric stopped Gardner from being more explorative and intelligent. He was one of the first teachers of Gardner. But of course, by the time he made his theory, Eric was dead. Sternberg, not at all related to this. But Sternberg had his own theory of multiple intelligence, which we will talk about tomorrow. Good. Leela on fire. Nice one. True or false? Gardner's theory of MI is empirical and is incompatible with G. Who are those people five? See, this is a pun. Pun means you're playing on the words. Incompatible are two different words. If you join this incompatible, then this answer becomes true. If you, just because I have separated this, the answer is false. Because I have separated this, it says MI theory is on the lines of G. So you have to read the space between words properly.
Soundarya, we are writing a 5th standard exams. You are giving the public exam up to 10th standard.
No, I mean, this is a conscious thing that I made a choice to separate the words. Anyway, good. Most of you got it right. Last one. MI theory has widened the scope of learning and teaching. I expected everyone to do it right. Of course, it has widened the scope of learning and teaching. Who is that one person? Anyway, let's see who are the winners. Ritika, apart from Ritika. Oh, Praharsh is third. Shri, who is Shri?
Srivalli, I believe so.
Srivalli, yeah. So Praharsh is first. I am third. That capital.
Runners up are Shilpa and MS. Who is MS?
Milna.
Oh, right. Congratulations. Those two are the runners up. You want to take a screenshot, whoever wants to.
Oh, Prakash got the first. Prakash is first, is it?
Praharsh is first. I'm third.
Oh, all these while I was thinking ulta.
No, yeah. It's capital H. Capital H. Great job, Prakash.
I think to win, we need to name ourselves as Kritika.
Nice one, yes.
No, I'm so glad, Prakash. Like at least you got to lead Ritika. I'm still so happy.
Yay! Ritika down. Ritika down.
Really funny. Why the hell you use my name now? I can see two names.
Next cohort will have 5-6 Ritikas then. H capital, R capital, I capital, and double A's, double T's.
That's Gardner's theory. Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligence.
What for tomorrow, Soundarya?
Sternberg's theory of triarchic intelligence.
Sorry, spell again.
Sternberg's theory of triarchic intelligence or triarchic theory of intelligence.
All right. Okay.
That's also simple.
I think we are going good with cognitive psychology this time. Earlier when we started, it was so scary. Now started getting into the head. So it's good.
Yeah, actually, whenever I hear about the year and then who has given that and then who has contemplated out of that, I really feel so painful. By the time we understand the concept, like today's class or yesterday's class, it's kind of interactive. Whichever it is coming as interactive, it's quite encouraging one. So I'm so glad to say that at least I have at least 10% of confidence that I can go through with that MA Psychology.
At least cognitive psychology.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we all will pass with flying colors. Don't worry.
Yeah. We will definitely pass. For sure.
This year there won't be any exam, nothing. Just like last year, they will let us pass.
तो शॉर्टकट ढूंढ बस, वो पास, नाम मेरा डाल के जीत, क्या चल क्या रहा है बॉस? All right. It was fun. Thank you so much, Soundarya. It was fun.
Thanks, Soundarya. Thank you all.
Soundarya. Good night, all.
Good night, all. Bye. Take care.
Bye. See you tomorrow.
Yeah.